All right, guys, so we're getting in one more review before it gets too cold here in Chicago. And we're taking a look at a really capable scooter that has some really nice features. So first of all, this scooter has a top speed of around 18 miles an hour. And we're right now hitting around 17, getting close, right, to the 18 mile mark. So I'm almost like a 17.5, I think, is the top speed. You have an 18-mile range. You do have 9.5 pneumatic tires. And one of the things I really like about the scooter is that it has signal markers. So if you notice, I just turned on one of the markers and you actually hear a beeping sound when it actually has a turning signal. So it has a signal on each side. It has a right signal and it also has a left signal. Bluetooth enabled, which means that it has a smart app, so you can connect your scooter to the app. And the handlebars, the actual handles themselves, fold. So they're foldable. Has cruise control, so like right now, cruise control kicked in, and I'm right now cruising at 16, 17 miles an hour. And it has a really nice brake system. It has a single brake system. And based on what you see right here, there's also going to be the passive one that most of these scooters have, but it has the single one that you'd be able to brake onto. What I like about the scooter is that when you get this scooter, there's nothing to assemble. Everything is there. Everything is pretty much the only thing you have to do is pop up the handles, because the handles kind of fold away real nicely. Pop them up, make sure that you have it charged, and you're ready to go. That's all there is to it. Now, it does have a nice front suspension system that you can see right here. We're going to go over the grass a bit so that you could see how well it handles. The actual bed itself is a little bit on the narrow side, but I would put this more as an urban commuter scooter. So let's say, for example, you are living in a condo, you're in a dorm area, and you need to be able to go from here to there really quickly. And you're not looking for something that's going to be long range. Like, this isn't a scooter that has a 50-mile range, nor does it have like 45 to 50 miles an hour kind of speed. This is 17 and a half, maybe if you're lighter, hit it to 18, and then 18-mile range. Need to get some groceries, need to go to the store, need to get something really quick, or you need to use this as a last mile scooter, like for work, because you're getting on the train, and then you want something lightweight that you can take with you and off, and it could fold really easily, and even tuck it under your desk, then this is definitely a scooter to consider, because it kind of like checks all those boxes. Throttle is nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and just speed up a little bit so you can see. That's the speed, top speed right there. And I'm hitting 18. So to give you a sense, guys, I weigh around 180 pounds, and I'm seeing the scooter indicate anywhere from 17 to 18 miles an hour top speed. The charging brick on this also, I'll highlight, is pretty small. I like the size of it. It doesn't take up a lot of space, which means it's also something that you can easily fit in a backpack. So literally, scooter, charger, take it with you. Take it to work, put it to charge at work. You can do all that and more. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to come to a position where we can actually run, see how fast it could pick up on throttle. So right now I'm about 2 to 3 miles an hour, and I'm going to hit it. So right now it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It actually hit 18. 18. And right now cruise control is on. And you can hear cruise control enabled with an audible beep. You hear this beep. And scooter's going. Right? Very comfortable. I thought that, again, for this class of scooter, it has a very reasonable, I would say, acceleration and throttle. And again, this is awesome scooter for those of you who are looking for those last mile commuters. Also, if you are in the neighborhood and you have your kids go to a school that's in a neighborhood school really close by, this is a great scooter for that too. Now, in addition to the turning signals, the scooter does have a headlight, which is nice. It has a real marker as well, so you'll be able to see when you press the brakes. And because the scooter has pneumatic tires, the actual responsiveness, it's not a harsh riding scooter. It's a scooter that's going to be really, really soft to ride because of the suspension that it has and the pneumatic tires. So you combine the front fork suspension with pneumatic tires, you have a really, really nice ride. I don't feel it harsh on my knees, and you can see that I'm in a really comfortable position here as I'm riding the scooter. No issues at all. Very, very nice. Now let's talk about the app a bit. The app does have almost like well, it does. It basically has like a navigation system in there. So like if you would like to be able to navigate from point A to point B, almost like a Android Auto or Apple Auto, you could do that. And literally, you have a little mount like I have, and then use it to see where you're going and navigate, specifically in the direction that you want to go. So that's also really cool. And it almost has like the app, if you have more than one scooter, you'll be able to use it to update the firmware. You'll be able to configure if you want the scooter to kick to start, how fast you have to be going before you get throttle from the scooter. All those things are going to be configured in the app, which I really like. The other thing I would highlight is that when you do have the scooter, if you want someone else to use the scooter does get bound by the app to the device, to your account. So make sure that if you do lend it to someone else and you want them to be able to modify the settings, you need to give them the ability, you need to unbind it, right? So that they can connect it to their own account if that's something you want to do. Now, outside of that, this is a really, really quiet scooter. Really. No rattle, no clatter. I think I got maybe a little pebble as I was going up one of the areas here, but there is no noise coming from it. It's super silent. So, question, is this a buy? I'd say absolutely yes. If you're looking for a scooter that has these specs for those use cases that I just shared, this is definitely a nice scooter. Definitely a buy for me. Now, as we look at the new KQi 100F, a couple things I wanted to highlight. First of all, as we take a look at the tires themselves, you're looking at 9.5 by 2.3 pneumatic tires with enhanced shock absorption. This scooter is a delight to ride. It's really easy on your knees. I didn't really find any kind of shock coming from it. It has front dual suspension, as you can see, and we're going to see a close-up of that in a couple seconds. It's also foldable, and the handlebars also fold in, what you're going to see. They actually collapse in. Now, you'll notice that you do have a rear marker, right? And you do have a dual braking system, right? So you have front drum and rear regenerative braking on this system. And the other thing that I would say with the actual scooter is that the scooter does have a really decent grippy bed that you can see right there, and also has a smart app where you're going to be able to control, again, connectivity, cruise control. It has a remote lock and unlock type capability, and then also has speed limiters and different things that you can control on it. So all in all, really, really sturdy and reliable scooter. Now in the front here, you're going to notice the shock system, which really gives it an easy ride. You also notice right there, we have the actual lock and unlock mechanism so that you can fold down the actual handle. And the handles, again, are two folding. You're able to fold the scooter in this area, and you're going to see in a couple seconds how the handles themselves fold in. The scooter does have a real nice kickstand that kicks out, and you can see the angle of which the scooter's in. When it's in the on state, which it currently is on, you'll notice that you have that rear marker, letting everyone know that you are there and very visible. You'll also notice here, the very beginning right there, that's your port for your battery charger. So you're going to plug it in, it's going to charge, and again, with the app, you'll know when it's full, or with the display, you'll also know as well. Now, folding this scooter is pretty simple, right? So all we're going to do is push this thing up, and once you push this up, this will come out. Right? So I'm going to do it with this hand, pulls out like this, and then once you do this, the back comes in and locks in just like that. So really, really simple. But those two handles also fold in as well. Now, the cool thing about the handles is that the handles, as soon as you pull this out like this, watch what happens. They collapse. Both of them collapse, making this super easy to store. So if you're in an apartment building, in a condo, in a small unit, if you're in a dorm, this is going to be a great scooter. This is, again, from here to there scooter, and the fact that it folds two ways. It folds this way, and then it also folds down, makes it super easy to commute with. If you want to put it in the trunk of your car as a last mile, I would say, a solution getting to work, this also works well. Now, the handles on the scooter are pretty grippy. You can see that right here. They're really nice. It does have a bell, right? So that bell will go off. You have your brake system, and the brakes lights do turn on when you initiate it. On this side, you also then have some really nice turning signals. So you see those turning signals? They appear on both sides and they're audible. You're hearing this little beep right now. Almost sounds like a microwave, but I'll tell you, people do hear it, and they do react to it once they hear it in the walkway, and they'll turn around and they'll be able to see if you're going left or right, or if you're being followed, they'll definitely be able to see you. Now the display here is very readable. So you basically have your speed here, then you have, if it's Bluetooth connected, the mode that it's in. So you'll have different modes: pedestrian mode, a speed mode, or there's like a economy mode, right? So it doesn't go as fast, but it will save battery power, and then it's going to show you your battery life. If I double press this button, your light is going to turn on, and the light is really bright. You can see how bright that is right there. Now the app itself is going to give you a lot of information. So you can see the app right here. We'll switch over to the app. So it's going to give you your mileage, your location. You do have a map of kind of like the location that you're in. I'm going to blur that out so that my location doesn't get really disclosed. Your riding data. You also have the fact that you're connected to the link. You can customize your ride. And here, once this pops up, I'll show you some of the options we have. So first of all, you can set the minimum kick to start speed. So this is right now, I just have to be going 2 miles an hour in order for it to start. You can deactivate kick to start, which means that the scooter will just run. I discourage that. I've seen a lot of people hurt themselves when they just turn the throttle, because if you do it by mistake, it's just going to go. So right here, it's like you have to scoot a little bit before it to go, for it to kick in, and I like the 2 miles. Your regenerative braking settings, you can set that to off, weak, or medium or strong. Your charging limit, right? And sometimes if you kind of like bring this down a little bit, like if you set it there to 90% or just a little bit above, so that's like 95%, what they're attempting to do here is to extend the life of your battery by not topping it off every single time. Now you do have a dynamic mode here that you can go through, and here you could basically change how acceleration is going to work. You can go from chill to standard to wild. And you can also then set up here your max and minimum speeds. This is going to be great, especially if you're a parent and you're concerned about your child using the scooter. So you could actually set it and say, you know, I want it at 10 miles an hour, and I want kind of acceleration to be chill. So it's not going to be crazy. Now, if it's you're riding the bike, or in this case, a scooter, set it to wild because you want to have that woohoo power. And you could also go through the fastest speed of 17 miles per hour. The last setting that you have here is cruise control, so you can set your cruise control as well. Now, the way cruise control works is as you're holding at a specific speed, you'll hear an audible beep, and when that beep kicks in, you'll no longer have to hit the throttle to keep that speed. Now, the app does have almost like an Android Auto to it, so if you have a phone mount, which I do when I ride my scooters, you'll be able to look at your battery level, your speed, your range. It's going to give you altitude, all the things that you would expect like if you were driving a car. So this is like Google or Android Auto for scooters. I think it's a cool feature.